I was mopping the floor, watering my plants, and then I stopped to wash some dishes, and I stopped and I looked around and I was like, what am I doing? Slow it down.
Ben here, and welcome to the podcast where we talk all things growing and smoking that beautiful herb that elevates our mind, body, and soul. This is Fog and Grow. Welcome back to another episode of the Fog and Grow podcast. Today we have with us our guest, MamajuanaQ is in the house. Welcome to the show. And I just wanted to say real quick, you just recently passed 1 year of being on Instagram. So congratulations. Happy 1 year.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Do we all want to do like a little cheers? Hit
Hell
a little
yeah.
something before we hop into
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good
Let's
God.
go. What's everyone puffing on, by the way?
Frosted grape.
Dang. You guys are getting me with the grapes.
Yeah. I'll eat that
Cassie?
as cereal. That sounds
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
We got Mango Smile from
What do you got?
Mephisto. So good.
Nice.
Not
Hell
the
yeah.
Bud Rot one,
Nice.
just for the record.
MamaQ, what are we puffing on?
I got some ice cream cake, and she was a rather dry when I did this joint here, so we'll see how it goes. But
We shall see.
yeah, this was a friend's indoor grow, so
Hell
this
yeah.
we get to try it out. But it's from last year, so
We shall see. You'll let us know at the end how it did.
Toss a corn
Now-
tortilla in the bag and then it'll rehydrate it a little bit.
that's a good idea. Oh shucks, man.
No,
That's like
Tortillas are great because I know some people use orange peels, but
you're good. Just go
ooh,
grab
an
one real
orange
quick.
peel
You're
would
good.
be good.
I heard people putting back their foliage into really super dry
yeah, you can
jars.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it like
That's
cut
a
off
good
leaves and
idea.
throw it in the
ramps
bag.
it up really fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah, it
that's
is
cool. I just got ordered some Grove bags to cure some of my stuff. Tim was talking about it the other day. I wonder, like, would that be a good place to kind of, if I dried something out too much, to throw in some extra fan leaves or something like that, or
Yeah.
whatever, in the Grove
absolutely.
bag with it.
I thought you were going to ask
Very
if you could
nice.
just put them back in there and they'd hydrate them for you, because that's not how that works.
Have a little more faith in me,
Well,
Cassie.
no, well, I don't
God
know.
All right. Hey, cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
I should-
Well, we're good. Natty, what are you puffing on?
Lemon berry.
Ooh.
Oh, it is
Nice.
delicious. It's actually from
I-
the recreational market, and it's always really good. This lemon berry
Nice.
from Ness. Ooh. It's the
Hell
only
yeah.
one I like, I think.
I have some recreational stuff as well. This is pyrotechnics. Pyrotechnics. Yeah, Maggie's Farm, clean green certified cannabis.
Cool.
All right, let's hop into it. Mama
All
Q,
right.
I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions, and then we'll get on to some other stuff from there. So, first off, indica, sativa, hybrid, a mix.
Uh,
What do you got going on?
I
What
probably
do you prefer?
I'm more of a indica. Like I feel like I'm always up here. My brain's going a million miles an hour. Like if I do an indica, that'll usually help me focus a little bit. I tried sativa like the other day, and next thing you know, I was mopping the floor, watering my plants, and then I stopped to wash some dishes, and I stopped and I looked around and I was like, what am I doing? Slow it down. Go smoke some indica.
Yeah.
So indica for sure.
Okay. Cool. Photos or autos?
Photos. I want to try autos, but photos seem to be I can watch them. I can like if there's a deficiency, if there's something I feel like their growth is a little bit slower where I can kind of catch on to what they're doing. So I can manipulate them more. Chop them in half.
Yeah.
Do all those things. I'm sure you
Yeah,
can do that
cool.
with autos. I know Cassie does it, but I'm a little
Sure.
scared.
Yeah, that's cool.
Organic. All the way. All
Cool.
the way.
soilless, or hydro?
Soil.
Popping seeds, planting clones.
Popping seeds. Clones are cool. Like I will get into the cloning world. It makes sense financially and everything else. But right now I literally want to grow everything and it's neat to start them from seeds. So that's
Nice. Indoor or outdoor grow?
both.
Cool. Smoking or edibles?
Smoking. I like edibles, but honestly, the smoking, I like that it gets you really quick, and then you can always go back for more edibles if you do too much. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. So
Yeah. Cool. Flower or dabs?
flower. Dabs are for when I don't want to come back to the world. That is
Yeah,
that
for
is when
sure.
I want to munch and go to sleep, and that's about all I can do.
Cool. And then one last one. Do you prefer to call it cannabis, weed, marijuana, ganja, maybe a little bit of everything?
It's hard. Like cannabis, weed. For me, when I grew up, like I used to call it trees, because when I would buy it, this was so long ago when I was smoking, it was illegal. When people grew, it was mainly outdoors, and they were literally the size of trees. I could text trees in a text message or say it over the phone and, not feel scared. So, trees and cannabis
Yeah.
is kind of my things.
Trees and cannabis.
Yeah, we call that homework.
Homework.
Yeah.
Give me that homework.
Gotta go do some
What
homework.
about
That's actually really great. For me, it's I'm gonna
I
go
like
to the
that. I like that.
bathroom and then you won't see me for like 30 minutes because I'm getting really high. So
Nice. Natty, Cassie, what do y'all prefer to call it?
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. There we go.
Cannabis.
Wouldn't
Weed.
that be cabbage?
Devil's cabbage. The electric cabbage.
Yeah, I know. Like some people are particular though, like because there's that stigma behind it and everything like that, and so like I've heard the argument of like wanting to say cannabis instead of kind of weed can help move us past that
yes.
stigma. And I don't know. I've also heard it go the other way too, and just like I don't know, call it whatever you call
Well,
it.
like
So
it.
I usually
Yeah.
call it cannabis. So like I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm young again and like buying like, $15 grams behind a shopping center or something. Or like, got any weed?
Yeah.
When I say
Yeah.
it like that, but when I say cannabis, I feel like I have a moniker on.
Accurate.
yeah,
That's so funny.
there's that can definitely come with it. Cool. Well, hey, let's I wanted to hop
Okay.
into your background a little bit and just can you give us a little bit of like how did you start using cannabis? When was the first time? How was it? Like what did that look like?
Shucks, man, you're bringing me back. Okay, so I mean, I was like a youngster. I should not have been doing what I was doing when I was young, but like there was one time we skipped school and I skipped school with two other girls and some guy and they had weed in an apple. So that is how I first smoked weed was out of an apple. I were no way.
Did you eat the apple?
I took a bite. Hell yeah. Like, yeah. There's major cottonmouth.
Nice.
There's all sorts of things that
Stay
you
healthy.
don't. Yeah, stay healthy too. The second time was like at a football game out of a can, just little things like that. And I always kind of smoked randomly throughout high school, but it became more of like a routine when I went to college. Like I could smoke and I would sit down and I would do math or chemistry. I would just zone out and just done,
Nice.
and
Sounds like a
Yeah.
superpower.
But did you remember it?
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Do math right now.
Right?
Right.
Let's see some
No,
math.
I mean like now I don't practice it every day, but no, I mean like my most profound moment when I was just like, okay, I'm smoking weed all the time now was I had a statistics class and I had just smoked and studied for this final because if we passed the final, it didn't matter whatever we had done before. If you got an A on the final, then it was an A for the class. So you bet your ass I studied. So I went out to the car because I was so nervous and I just smoked the fattest bowl. I mean, I probably reeked of weed when I went in there, but my teacher was a very big hippie, so it did not matter. And I finished first, so then I was even more nervous, but I didn't care. I just powered it out. I was the only person that got an A on the test. Everybody else failed. It was
Let's
3
fucking go.
questions, and that was it.
Yes.
That's all I had to do. And then I was just like, okay, like
Yeah.
this works with me. I focus, and it's cool. So I just did it, and then with going to college, right? You're working, then you've got anxiety of like getting grades and doing all these things because I had to pay for college, and so I worked really hard, and anxiety built up, and all sorts of things, moving away from home, and so we just really became like something that helped me. I wasn't like a stoner sitting on the couch doing nothing. Like I was a very productive person. I went to school full time and worked 2 jobs, and it was just like smoke bowl, go do something else. Smoke bowl, go. Now I see how I have ADHD now because I did all the things. Sorry, Natty. Are we at a rave too?
Wow, I was blocking.
know.
I'm sorry, I was blocking.
But I am
with you on that.
I'm
Don't
a big
worry.
hander.
Oh yeah. I do want to ask you more about the chemistry thing. I just graduated college last year. Actually, I was in the military for a while. So like you saying how cannabis kind of helped with science essentially is super fascinating to me because I feel like it helps me. But we can get into that later. Cassie.
I have all the questions for you all the time. I want to know. I want to know everything about you. But me, for being a mom, and if there's other listeners that are mothers as well, like how do you feel that cannabis has either aided or hurt to like your role as a mother? How do you find that it helps you like process and ultimately raise 2 children? And I know that you do have one with special needs, and I know you're an incredible mother. That's why I'm smiling so much, and I know you do so much for her. So I want to know how you find cannabis either helps you or doesn't.
Gosh, sorry, girl, you got me all choked up over here.
Sorry.
That's a beautiful question.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I love you. I'm sorry.
No,
Do
like,
you want to circle back?
no, being a mom has been so awesome, and like, being a canna-mom or smoking cannabis and being a mother, like, really has centered me because I have this ADHD inside where like I seriously get that tunnel vision of like I need to do something and I need to do it now or however I fill in those moments and get anxiety, and smoking weed gets me to chill out, calm down, and next thing you know we're playing Legos or whatever, we're doing something. Like I'm brought down to a level where I am present in the moment and I am able to focus and do things. And I think that that's so important. I grew up in a household where uh it was chaos, like just loud noises. Like my mom yelled a lot, that's just how she grew up. It was just like yelling at everybody, get in here and do this, and like I then don't like loud noises because of that, and so kids like to be loud, so I have to be able to smoke weed and like put my triggers and whatever else aside, to be able to like let kids be kids. And so it's been really neat to be on this like healing journey because my parents got divorced when they were young. So uh, breaking cycles and doing things and being a mom, being present, and during COVID too, and like you're even more sheltered and suppressed, like it's even, I don't know, it's just even more so time to be healing and reflecting and being present. And so smoking weed helps me do that. So it's really cool, and that's why like it's neat to make reels and talk to other moms and help to hopefully like break the stigma, because there's other moms that could seriously, I think, benefit from smoking a little weed and just chilling the frick out, man. being
Totally.
present. So
That's super beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's
thank
amazing.
you.
100% agree with your
Do you feel like
statement
there's
too.
any negative side effects that come from doing it, or
Um,
for you is it all just a positive?
for me, it's a positive. Like I've been able to, I think I've been smoking weed for such a long time now. It's like, yeah, I get the munchies, but you don't see me like pass out in the bed with like, snacks all over the place, like everything in moderation,
Covered in Cheetos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And same with your kids are
Mushroom
awake,
covered Cheetos.
like even with alcohol, I'm not freaking binge drinking and pounding down alcohol where then I can't be present with my kids. Like, no, I'm gonna go take a puff or two and go out there and go hang out. I'm not gonna go do a dab where I know I'm freaking done for the
Gone for the
day,
rope. Right?
you
Let's
know.
go
It's
to
all
the
about
park.
doing
Mom's
things
gonna make me some
responsibly.
dab first.
Being responsible. Yeah.
But that's for
Yeah.
me, and that's my tolerance, and that's where I'm at. There are some people that can dab and
Yep.
go do those things. My tolerance isn't up there. Maybe it will be one day, but you know, everything again in moderation and knowing your limits, I think is the biggest thing.
Exactly.
Yes, so seriously, like all this stuff you're saying, like I super resonate with that. Like cannabis brings out a lot of like healing stuff for me, kind of thing. So yeah, I like it. I
But
dig it.
you can definitely, just like anything, misuse. You can misuse cannabis, you can misuse alcohol, whatever it is. You can misuse shopping. Like you can go crazy. Sugar,
100%.
Sugar.
yes. So,
Yeah, fuck yeah. You could be like
I
smoking
know
weed
all
to
about that
escape.
sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I mean, never mind.
but no, cannabis is awesome. No, you're
Sorry.
That was awesome.
don't say
No,
that.
don't say that.
All right. One thing I was gonna say is like you were saying, yeah, like you can have a negative relationship with anything, but that relationship can also be positive. Yeah, or it goes both ways.
Except for
yeah.
crack.
Yeah.
And murder.
You want it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And murder.
No.
Actually, no,
be
murder.
fulfilling.
Yeah, murder. Well, I mean, like I eat meat, so I support murder just of certain things.
Yes.
It is what it is. Yeah.
I murder fungus gnats, so that is
Delicious
cool.
murder.
There are certain
You
murdering.
do. One of my favorite fucking reels. That's like one of my. You've made a few of my favorite reels of all time. Like, there's a lot of yours that I've just. Because they're just. I don't know. Like, when I try to do them, it's like usually it ends up being like, 15, 20, 30, 60 seconds long, and it's like convoluted. I find that you can make so much funny and relevant shit in just like a few seconds.
Oh, but you do both too, like seriously. And I think that's like what's awesome about any content creator is like the variety of what they put out, I mean, I just do some of those things because I'm laughing my ass off at myself. And I'm thinking I'm pretty funny, so I just have to go with it.
That's what I do. That's my
Yeah.
fucking.
Hell yeah.
That's my whole motto behind this is just like if I think it's
Oh, yeah.
funny or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
I'll just
Like the fungus gnat one, I laugh
Yeah.
cried at myself. Like,
If it doesn't
yeah,
work,
my husband laugh cried at it.
it's still one of my
Laugh cried
favorites.
so hard, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe myself.
That shit
But it's
off.
cool. It's fun. It's a great way to get out some, some funnies because no one else understands these things but you guys, I can't call my dad and be like, dude, these fungus gnats, man, they're giving me these problems. He'd be like, I don't know what to tell you. So
It's true.
we don't. I mean, yeah.
You mentioned kind of these like positive kind of being in the present moment, or cannabis helps bring you in the present moment, helps a little bit with some personal healing. Did you when did this mindset or this awareness come that like, hey, this plant is a medicine or can be a medicine, right? Like, did that always kind of linger in the back, or since you've been having a relationship with the plant, or is that something that's kind of?
Oh no, I mean, I definitely, like I said, the moment where I smoked and did my test was like a big revelation for me of like, okay, I can use this and harness this and go with it as long as I could afford it, right? Because it was freaking expensive. It was like $10. for a little gram, I'd be so excited that thing would last me a week. Now I'd be like, I'm packing that in one
Right.
bowl right now and freaking smoking it to my head. It's so crazy. But yeah, and I think like as I became like more like using it and realizing like how much pressure like I was putting on myself and like all these anxieties that I was like creating and I was smoking and I was like, okay, this is calming me down to where I can actually like address these. I'm still a 100% procrastinator on some
Me too.
things, like if I don't want to do it, but that just happens. I
That's
will
called being a
admit that,
human,
but
Ming.
um,
Right.
yes,
Truth.
yes,
Facts.
Yeah.
yes. But it's just like I would smoke and chill out, or like if I'm feeling a type of way, I could go smoke and go reflect and be like, why are you feeling this way? Instead of like if you're feeling sad and I'd go drink some alcohol, I might be crying in the corner. And you're telling me to get the heck out of here. Like exactly.
I will be crying in
There
the
are just
corner.
some things that didn't mesh well with me. And like this, if I was, because I did drink, I was hungover, I could go smoke a bowl and I could eat again and get ready for my next round of drinking. That was college, but like it just was like always, always there and in a beneficial way.
That's awesome. Cool.
Houseplants, landscaping things, gardening. Um, I kind of took like a little pause there. Like my mom died, and there was just like this kind of year where like other things happened, and I just really couldn't even like get myself to like do anything, let alone care for something. Like I literally couldn't even meet myself for my basic needs, let alone gardening. Now it's like so opposite when I'm feeling sad and depressed. It's like fingers in the soil, I'm touching a plant, I'm doing something, I am propagating a house plant, I'm doing something, and it's so healing now. So been awesome.
Yeah, it's been absolutely cathartic for me and my wife since we started doing it, and it's amazing how you can at first think of it as a chore, and then it just becomes like a healing journey almost.
So awesome. And especially to do anything with like your significant other too. Like this is even a hobby that like the hubs and I enjoy doing, like and it's just nice to be out there, but whoa, check this out, look at this bug, look at this leaf, spraying it down and like it's just awesome to be able to do that and to share it with you guys too. But really when you enjoy something so much, you want to talk about it all the time because you're thinking about it all the time and you're waiting for somebody to ask you questions about it. So again, you can talk about it. It's like, do you want to see my plants? Do you want to see?
Yep.
I feel that.
So it's awesome. Like plants
So
are
true.
freaking cool, man. Like I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like right here in my room. Like get to stare out. Like there's a garden out there.
What is
This,
that?
uh, this is
What
a,
is that one?
a bird of paradise.
Yeah, what's
Behind
that?
And
you?
this
Yeah, that one.
is,
Yeah.
my ceilings are like 9 feet tall. We're probably about 8 feet right now, the tallest leaf. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it once it,
Hell yeah. That's
once
awesome.
it hits the ceiling. I might have to sell it. I'll be really sad because that's not one you can like top and it'll regrow. So once it's too big, it's just too big. I'll have to get a new one and start all over again. And that'll be fun. Yeah. Oh, I've seen these at like zoos and they're like 20, 30 feet tall. So these guys, I've seen, like if you go to San Francisco, basically any hotel, you'll be looking out and seeing these. They're like trees. So
And you have one in your house.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, when
A
I
little hole
got
in the
it,
ceiling. Just
I'm
keep
like the
going.
first leaf was
So-
probably like this
What if
big,
you let it grow?
and so then it's gotten pretty big. So and it was probably 3 feet tall, I'd say, when I first got it. So it's double and a half in size. So
Yeah, more than double.
Oh,
What if you let it grow horizontally instead of vertically? And you
that
like
would
put it up
actually
so
be
it's like
pretty cool.
growing
My
across the
window's
top of the
actually a big
ceiling.
span. I might have to configure something that it can't hurt to
Oh,
try.
great.
Just start circling the room with it a couple times.
That's what I was wondering. Can you train it? Can you like start putting some weights on it so it
Yeah.
just slowly
Yeah.
All
starts
right,
to
you guys,
grow?
I
That's
might have
Yeah.
to like,
yeah,
look
yeah.
into this. So,
It's like a dragon shape going on.
Gravity will just like a little bit of just like a
yeah.
couple of like
Some
a
fishing
powder,
weights.
half bag. Yeah,
Yeah.
fishing weights. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There.
You can get
I
That's
like
a
might have
trick
to
I
try
use
that out.
outside,
So,
actually, fishing
I could
weights.
probably
Oh,
keep it
okay.
So
bending
Fun.
down this way, and then it would have like more room if I arched it more. All right, cool. Thanks, you guys, for solving my problem here. Now I can keep it for longer. Woo!
arts and crafts.
Awesome.
Bobby Bros here for you.
Little things like that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Come on our podcast. We'll solve all
Plants
your
are our
problems.
babies, so we all want to keep them around, right?
Teamwork makes the dream work. That's right. You can't give
No,
her away.
yeah.
No.
There are some plants
It's
like
like giving a kid away.
when COVID hit, like I was pregnant at the beginning, like legit COVID hit the next month, I was pregnant. And that was pretty crazy to be pregnant during such an crazy time, and I have like maybe
COVID
3
baby.
houseplants. Yeah. So legit COVID baby. And then we moved into a larger space and I went from 0 to or from like 3 to like, I don't know, almost 70 houseplants in like just a few months, and then it was like it's time to grow weeds, and then it was just like bam, 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 and then gardening. So really, like last year, it was pretty insane for like the amount of houseplants and just everything that just took off with growing.
That's
So
amazing.
You can't just fly by an increase of 67 plants, homegirl. Like, what
Thank you.
happened?
Fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go back to
Please.
that. That was incredible. I like your hand movement. Really. Like 3 and then.
That's like crazy cat lady.
Yeah. Fuck
so
yeah.
I found.
What happened?
So some
Where did
I
you get
got
all
from
of
like,
them?
regular like big box stores, Lowe's, Home Depots, some smaller stores. And then I found like Facebook groups where you could just like trade clippings. And so then I learned about propagating. And the next thing you know, I had like jars and water full of plants everywhere that were growing roots. And then I was just transplanting. And then, everything went insane. And so slowly I've been getting furniture to add to the house to put the house plants on. But now,
You're buying.
Pretty soon you won't have any ceiling
Yeah.
space,
That
right?
strategy.
You're
I love
buying
that
your
strategy.
plants from.
Yeah. Can we talk about that real quick, or like, can you dive into that a little bit, like, because
I
Okay,
love
so-
I've been wanting to do some of that.
my
as well.
favorite buy.
What-
Okay,
what are you
yeah.
finding that's- yeah.
What did I buy? I bought a IKEA like bookcase that was like glass shelves. Look at me as I'm moving my hands. I'm envisioning it. Off of Facebook Marketplace for like, I don't know, $30 or something. And then I bought like lights to go under these. So then there's even lights. So then I can put all my plants on this wall that doesn't get as much sunlight. And then any place that there's like a window, like in my bathroom, I put up like a curtain rod so I can hang plants. I did that in my kitchen. And then I have slowly added hooks to my living room to put plants to hang from the walls. Eventually, I will convince the hubs to just do a giant bar across so I can hang more plants, but
I love that.
we'll
idea.
get there. So slowly but surely.
I'm planning it around the house right now.
Like, seriously, bring them up and then let them
That's
trail.
amazing. That is so awesome.
And it adds like
Yeah.
color, without having, because I'm so really, so the one in,
If you want it looking rustic, you can
Yeah.
use pipe fittings.
Yeah.
too.
Oh my gosh,
Long time
one of the
kittens.
coolest
A
things
lot
I
of
saw was like
wallpaper,
Yo,
wall
yeah.
I don't know,
plants.
almost like a Pablo Picasso looking face, and then they had plant trailing down, so then it looked like hair coming out, and I was like, that's so.
Oh my God,
There are things that I'm working towards, but honestly, houseplants have
that's
slowly
so
become
cool.
neglected as like all the stuff outdoors has happened. So I need probably a full day to be able to transplant some of these guys and do all that stuff. But
Happening.
Right.
Seriously.
fun,
It's a lot of
and
work.
it's neat. It was like a need to research,
Botanical
you
forest
know.
fruit. They have
But there
some.
are some plants that I got, and I was just like, you and me don't belong
It's.
together.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Bye bye. I will regift that to someone else because I just or I resold like I had a Monstera Albo. Uh, I loved it. She was awesome. And then she started giving me anxiety because she was really expensive and I almost killed her like so many times. So I just was like, I'm gonna sell her and not deal with it anymore. So
What is watering all these plants looking like? Like, because like this is a lot of work, and yeah.
so kind of like the same method that I do with gardening is I top dress and then, that's usually good for like a month or so. Then I can just water my plants and slowly gets fertilized in and
What are you using to water?
a little watering can. Sorry, yeah, a little watering can. I need,
Like a watering can or a pump sprayer or
but I do have one. It's just that honestly, the cross contamination freaks me out. So I use that one for like cannabis only. And then I just got this little blue guy that I'm like, it's not going to take me that long to water an hour later for the 50th refill on this little tiny blue thing as I water it.
I think I think Petra Tools could add some value to your life there with a sprayer. So
backpack. You can do whatever. Or if you got a 100-foot hose reel,
backpack.
Yo,
We got
yo,
something for that.
the 100-foot hose. The 100-foot
I
hose. I
told you, bro.
literally pulled it in the
That's
house
You
last
can
night because I
literally
didn't want it to get
through
rained
the
on.
entire
And
house,
I walked
outside,
around and
wherever,
watered the
from
stuff
one
in the
spot in your
upstairs
house.
and downstairs
Love it.
tents. I was in there when it like in the porch. The cats were just staring down at the porch, like, "What the hell is this little battery operated thing?" And I was just hosed through the house, watering all the different tents.
It's so worth it, dude. It's so
I
worth
couldn't
it.
resist. Right? It honestly for a lot of plants that it was really nice, especially with the mist handle or whatever.
So yeah, or like if you want a backpack,
Honestly.
like we just had a new 2-gallon backpack. Cassie really likes it.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
gonna suggest, Cassie, do you think that'd be a good suggestion for her?
I would think it'd be perfect. That's what I would suggest for her. It's super lightweight and it's comfortable and you don't have a cord so you can travel around the house and a bunch of different nozzles so you'll find one that works for your plants. It's fucking rad. Love it. Yeah.
Yes, anything that's going to save time because like I want to be able to still collect plants, but as I collect, I realize, yeah, that's a lot more watering, a lot more fertilizing.
It goes into the watering because Ben asked like what your watering looked like. I've only grown cannabis. I don't have anything but an itty bitty little aloe heart shaped plant that I got for Valentine's Day and it's sat in the window since Valentine's Day. And um, um
Oh.
Oh,
like for hanging plants and like you're obviously not watering to run off, or is that plant dependent ever? Like,
Oh man, no, I always get like the planter and get the bases. That's the only way to do it because you're gonna have a mess otherwise. So if I water, I see a little bit of water coming into the dish there to the bottom of the tray, then I know I'll wait and come back and see if it soaks it up. So, 'cause that too, I get up on a chair and I reach up like this and I try to see
what about
in the
your
bottom of the
hanging
dish if the
plants?
water gets in there. And that's literally the only way to do it. There's another area that I want to put a plant, but I know if I put it up there, mm, yeah, like I
Yep, the bendy nozzle will solve
she
it.
needs the bendy nozzle.
You can
Tim.
stand right below it and have it pointing straight down.
no, That would seriously
Yeah.
save me.
With the magic wand extender.
I can
Um,
totally get it.
No
no,
charity.
that's also because
It's like
I always try to do
strewn
stuff
through the
like
household.
that when like the kiddos are
Nice.
asleep because like I don't
Get
want
her a
the
damn
kid to
backpack,
see
Ben.
me pulling out the stool or the chair, and the next thing you know,
Yeah, and so all right, so we got a 2-gallon sprayer coming your way.
On point.
Well, I need to throw in this Bendy nozzle that because Tim and I have been testing and trying to find like a good our best nozzle essentially for growers, and we've come to the conclusion between this red kind of cone shaped nozzle that gives a really nice like I'd say
Right,
the
yeah.
finest mist out of like
It's finer with
I
less
think
pressure.
Natty,
so.
yeah, Natty was saying the same thing.
That's the one that I used last night in the tent, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh.
So the orange one blew that
doesn't,
topsoil.
take
The
the
red
top
was
of the soil out.
perfect,
It's just
though.
a really
Exactly.
beautiful fine mist.
man,
Yeah. It was
Exactly.
really nice,
The orange cone was a little too much pressure.
It's
The red
fun.
one's good. And then when you combine it with the bendy nozzle,
Nice.
then you just have a lot more options. And
If you want to set the
simple
wand on
one
the
as
floor,
well,
you can just literally just bend the
uh,
head to where you
yeah.
want, like set it down and
man, you
walk
guys are
away and come back 5 minutes
awesome.
later.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
The handle has like a little locking mechanism.
But they
that you
are,
can
and
just
that's
bring
what
and
like
go.
you know. I
Yeah.
think that's why I like
So
Yeah.
cooking
Toys are
sometimes because all the
amazing.
cooking
Toys.
gadgets. Like I don't know,
Toys.
like do I need a pineapple cutter?
Toys.
No, but am I
Toys,
gonna
yeah.
get one? Yeah, I'm gonna twist it. You know, all these exactly avocado peeler. Exactly.
Because you want to be more efficient, right? And that's the exact same thing with these sprayers. Want to be more efficient. I want to have more of my time to myself.
Well, it's great for the back and shoulders too, right? Instead of like having to reach into things. Like me, I've got a pretty damaged spine, but we won't get into that right now. But
Yeah.
like to last night to be able to hit everything in there without having to haul all the plants out
Yep.
or get weird angles or weird twists or anything like that. That was like, oh, but come on, man.
I think you
That
just touched
changes
Ben's
a lot
heart.
because it took a lot of time away, and it also took a lot of like hip and
I
shoulder
saw it like,
pain
oh.
away. So that was pretty. That changes a lot because it took a lot of time away, but it also took a lot of like hip and like shoulder and like neck pain away. So that was pretty.
I knew you'd
dope.
love that.
Yeah, and I love hearing how much value.
That's how I felt though too. That's
No,
exactly.
hey, seriously, like because
It's life changing,
it's like
man.
Shut up.
Cry. Yeah, like I don't know these experiences firsthand.
Very
I only
correct.
know, like, because like I just finished my first run, right? And I've had these tools and these toys the entire time, and like so I don't know what it's like, you know, spending a lot of time and like having watering and stretching in weird ways when you're already fucked up and you have all this like pain and stuff going on, and like
You're
the
fucked
val- I am fucked up. You're very correct. I got a degenerative disc disease in my lower back.
Well, just imagine like a home grower, that's growing upstairs, got to lug stuff up and down constantly back and forth. It would be life changing.
So like I
Sorry.
usually keep a water reservoir in each of the two setups because I have it set up upstairs and I have it set up downstairs. So that water reservoir, yeah, right. Like it's to lug the buckets to it to fill it and then aerate it and do all that and stuff. And now I got a little more option of like where that could maybe be
Yeah.
located or how
That's
easily
super
I
smart.
can fill my tank and just run around to everything. So I'm pretty excited. That with the mini fogger too, like the style of the how I do the seedlings, you know what I mean, with the long tent on its side. Like that mini fogger to be able to like get in there and like and now with the wand, like forget about it. I just gotta get some flood tables now.
Yeah,
I gotta get flood trays for
so
everything.
interesting thing I'll say about the mini fogger real quick. I just did some testing last night with our fish and seaweed fertilizer, so it's kelp and fish, and I did like a super high concentration and tried spraying through the whole thing, and it did stop spraying like about halfway through. I shook it a little bit and it sprayed the rest of the way through. I did the test again because I'm gonna make a reel about it, and it sprayed straight through the entire thing.
I haven't
So
had
did
any
1 ounce
issues with
for the
it clogging or stopping
13.5
either.
ounce, like little reservoir container thing. So
Yeah.
like that's some really good news with this upgraded pump. Is it's outputting micron particle size. It's super, super fucking small, and it seems to be able to take like I sprayed all through
That's
an
awesome.
entire bottle of straight Crop Defender as well, undiluted Crop Defender, the concentrate. So like it seems to be pretty good. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That's super cool.
No, those things look awesome. Those,
Great.
yeah, last night I was using a spray bottle. I found spider mites on a house plant, so I was pretty upset about it. I had gotten it from Trader Joe's 4 weeks ago. I quarantined it for 3 weeks and put it on this table. And I noticed it started getting little spots, but it was a different tropical plant that I'd ever dealt with. And there was a couple times where I just straight watered it from like tapping the water. I thought maybe it was like not liking the, chlorinated water. And no, last night I looked and there was a little teeny tiny web and a little thing going. And I smushed that thing and I took it outside. I could not spray it down with anything quick enough. So, but I did. I had some other stuff like mixed up because I had just transplanted another giant plant that I finally got to and sprayed it down. And so I had a little bit of that left. So I sprayed that, but that is going to be what I use, and I'm going to spray it and then wipe it down before I bring it back inside. So that's my goal for this afternoon.
Okay, you definitely don't have to, but this using this mini fogger with the Crop Defender would be, I think, a very solid option for getting good coverage on the
Last night I did not care. I was just
Even, like whenever you've got them all like on the walls and stuff too, you'd be able to like concentrate a stream on there and not like soak the wall.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. You'd be able to like not just spray, like, you know what I mean? Right? You're not in the house. Like,
that is making me laugh. Seriously though, like it's just the thing to do
for like some like ads or whatever,
or
and,
for
like,
reels, or for your plants. So I don't, I didn't care. Yeah, killing them down.
I'd be dead.
I'm breaking beds. Hey. Can I say though, I made a reel after I broke the bed and like joked like, hey, Petra Tools, buy me a new bed. Me and the lady just bought like a new mattress, a new bed, and Petra Tools paid for the bed. So let's go, Petra Tools. But hey, fucking, I got Miss Rad Reaper's attention. She fucking posted that. Yeah, that was so fucking worth it, bro. That was so fucking worth it.
That was amazing.
I was so excited.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we met her last year at MJ BizCon. Or no, and Emerald Cup. Sorry.
Can we get into a little bit about growing? You said you grow outdoors. You're in Oregon. What's growing in Oregon like?
Oregon is awesome. Like we were very progressive, we legalized it here. And there were just a lot of growers that popped up, a big influx of people coming to work here because cannabis became legal. But it's beautiful. Like it's so, I could drive, I could see mountains like 2 hours away. I'm at the coast. I can go, to Eastern Oregon and I got farmland. I mean, it's awesome. There's hiking, rafting, camping. Like I can go up to Portland, Eugene. I can go to, Rogue River. I grew up on the Rogue River, it's just, yeah. And, oh yeah. I mean, the amount of times I went down there drunk, like I thank the Lord I'm still alive. Like the things I did when I was younger, geez, it's awesome here. And growing, like literally, it's cool now. You can look out, you see orchards, and then there's hemp, and greenhouses everywhere. But there's definitely a little bit too many farms, I think. A lot of big corporations or owners that are renting out this land to people who are then misusing it, and it ends up being like the cartel and stuff like that. Like it's pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys have like looked up like Oregon and cannabis bust, but it gets crazier and crazier. Like some of the stories like I read, I'm just like, that's like 20 minutes away from here, and they've got like, 1,500 pounds of like processed flour already, ready to go out. So it's insane.
Yeah, so for I think a little context, you're in Southern Oregon, like not too far from California. Tim, he's up in Northern California as well, and like I think a lot of that cartel stuff is like in that area. Sounds like it's kind of bled into Oregon a little bit.
There's a lot of warehouses and industrial things where it gets overlooked. I mean, so many of the bus here were just straight up warehouses that were just like packed with like people sleeping in there because they were working and processing weed. I mean, in it's really insane because I look at that and it's like that's not cool. Like that's I mean, but it messes up like people who actually
People
want
renting
to
out whole
grow
houses and then
legitimate
just demolishing it
weed,
and
like
turning it into a grow
good
space.
medicine for people, when you have licenses and different
Huh.
things that are, given to people who misuse it. So it's pretty frustrating, but like we have a lot to learn. This is still like new, this just came into effect. Like laws are still being made. I mean, they still don't even know how to like test if you've uh right had weed in your system before driving. They don't know if it's like been 5 minutes before or 5 hours before. Things are still being tested and laws are being made. And so it's I'm just sitting back and taking it all in, I guess. And that's how it's going to be as states become more legalized. And I think as even like, hopefully, once things go federal, hopefully there'll be a little bit more,
It's a little Wild
I don't know,
West-ish,
better rules,
probably.
regulations. I don't know. But hopefully something better for like the smaller farmers, not this corporate, like, I don't want like Anheuser-Busch owning farms trying to grow weed for me.
I hear that. So like kind of the same thing up here too. You know what I mean? Like when it's an infant market, and when it first started, it was kind of geared more towards like, you know, you had to have a fat bank account to be able to get into it and get in there. So it was the most opportunistic people that could get in there, but didn't really care for the plant, nor have they most of them ever grown it or done anything with it, right? So, but that's kind of that's slowly getting phased out. I mean, it's an infant market. You look at every other market in the world and how long they've been around and how many like centuries, decades, you know what I mean, like millennia. And then this cannabis market that we're in is brand new. So I mean, it'll take a few decades, and it's going to change time and time and time and time again. But I think it's good to see that we're finally starting to like roll the ball. But yeah, it's going to be Wild West in a few places too, because even all our different provinces are different and on their rules and regulations and stuff too. So it'll take some time, but
I feel like
yeah.
there is a disruption going on.
Yeah, the consumer's getting a little more educated on what they want and what they know they deserve out of the product, out of their rights to grow it or to obtain it, and there's definitely a shift, and it's a heavy cultural shift for sure, because the stigma is being lifted now too, and there's a lot of different generations who would have thought of it as reefer madness are now looking at it as something that could ease their years, you know what I mean? Can ease their time or can give them some sort of relief or enhancement in life or whatever, right? So there's definitely there's a shift.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Well, you have to think too, like we were all
You did it.
consumers
Good job.
at one
Good
point,
job, buddy.
whether it was legal or
No,
not.
very, very well
And
said.
now we're well-educated growers, and we all have, like a platform here, and we're out and we're educating other people. I know that not everybody that follows me is a grower, so I feel like it's kind of cool, and it's like a
Absolutely.
little ripple effect.
Yeah.
I think we've all done a pretty good job with that. So keep on going, guys.
So can you tell us a little bit about your grow? What is your cannabis grow specifically looking like?
So I've got an indoor grow. So inside I've got some feminized seeds from Caper Seeds, and they're down in California. And I've got three different strains: Mac Cookies, Mac Daddy, and then Grand Caper. Um, they're in 3-gallon pots. I'm doing like the self-watering bases from AC Infinity. Um, with like occasionally watering up top. And I'm trying to do like a scrog method and just really kind of maximize that space in there and get some nice little colas going on. And uh, I don't know. So doing that. And then outside, then we also have, the outdoor grow, and that's two different growers are from, or two different strains are from Oregon growers and breeders. Which has been awesome to do. Um, they are super cool. Like literally, they can break down their plant for me and like tell me why they did the strains that they did. One of them, like in my stories, like I didn't tag him, and he was like, "Is that my plant on the right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I could tell by them leaves." And I was like, "You're so awesome." And that's cool to me. So, and then then I have another, is it Omi seeds?
That's
I'm
rad.
growing some Tropicana in them. So, that's the first time
That's so
growing
awesome.
their stuff. I don't know. Oni seeds, I don't know. But I guess he, like that person grower does some fire seeds is what, I've
Is that a
heard
play
and
off
read. So,
OnlyFans?
growing that, and that is living soil. I
Okay.
mean, it is alive. Like when I put my shovel in there, like I feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry if I get a worm. I am sorry. Yeah, I feel so bad. But yeah, worms. I saw roly polies in there. There were earwigs, springtails. I mean, all sorts of other little tiny things. And they're going spiders on the
All that
underside.
fungi.
I found a praying mantis in my yard the other day that I had hatched earlier, a few months ago. And I mean, it was probably like this big, and transported him or her over to the cannabis bed. And yeah, like I did use a bucket. Like I won't lie, I was a little scared. It was a little big, but little bucket and brought it over there. I mean, my finger, I still don't want it to get bit, but no,
Really?
they can fly, and so I didn't want it to fly
I
away.
know.
So I transported him or her over. So, but that is awesome. I mean, it has
You ever fight
been
one of them in a video game?
almost
They're
where
vicious.
I'm like, how can I slow the growth down on this guy? Because, or all of these ladies here, it's like we have a hedge
Okay.
growing because we're trying to keep it a little lower profile.
Ooh.
Um, it it's crazy in there. Like we were like, we have plenty of space here because like our plants a month into growing were like double the size of what they were, what we tried to grow like last year when we chopped them down. So all of a sudden it was like they went really crazy fast, and a lot of training. I'm super excited to see what it looks like when they're chopped and like all the branches, because some of them are like well, it's like a pretzel in some areas, and so I'm excited. But yeah, like literally it's like 18 feet wide, and then it was like almost 6 feet like deep, and it got crazy. So it's
That's so
pretty
awesome.
cool. Next year I want to make like a little arch maybe so I can like walk under it or something, like train it to come more this
It looks
way,
rad
and
though.
then so we'll see. Or I really want a greenhouse. There's so many
Okay.
things I want to do. So a
So
greenhouse would
cool.
be awesome, like two greenhouses. I'm already like measuring out areas where I can try to throw some in. And last year we had some
Right?
garden beds on this like other side of our house, and I mean, it's pretty long. It's
Do
like
you
50
have the
feet
land for it?
long or more, and just of
Do you have the
unused
land for it
space.
in
And
that
so I'm
space?
thinking if we can construct something on that side of the house. It gets so much sun that even during the fall and winter, having some type of garden out there would be awesome. And then if I wanted to grow outside next year, maybe trying a little bit of a greenhouse, and then an outdoor, and then an indoor, and then blacking out the greenhouse. I don't know. There's just like so many different types of things that you can do with these greenhouses. But seriously though, I want a greenhouse, you
Yeah.
guys. So I am scoping out. Well, Oh, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. I've been DIYing and then also Facebook Marketplace, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know how many growers are trying to
It's a
sell their
good one.
greenhouses from last year?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting.
Mm.
I'm, mm,
Yeah.
I,
It doesn't have
you
to be
guys don't know.
doesn't have to
Mm,
be a
I,
complicated one.
seriously, I'm waiting for mine. I am gonna get that deal. So, no, serious.
Thank you,
Shout out to
Facebook Marketplace, for
Facebook
sponsoring this
Marketplace.
podcast.
Ooh, okay, Geodome. Oh,
You should check
is
out
that kind?
Get out
you
of here,
should check out the
Zuckerberg.
Geodome
Yeah, hell
Okay,
yeah.
greenhouses.
Zucky,
okay.
get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna
I mean,
something
they're
to work towards.
no, they're like
Well,
You
but that's cool, yeah.
on a wish list. They're very
Mantis dome.
expensive. Yeah, like
Geodome.
thousands.
know.
It's so beautiful, dude. Yeah, there's multiple benefits to it, and I just can't think of any because
Cool.
I'm pretty stoned. But
I love
anyway.
it.
It's a wild one.
Well,
I love it.
well, there's
We're all fogged.
I
I'm fogged up.
Ooh.
Fog
there's
Andro.
oh, maybe we should all get turned into like a fogger character, and like that could be something that could be funny.
Something to look
We
into.
all
I mean, there's
Crazy.
Yeah,
enough
we
logo
can change our
artists
logo.
basically
all
follow for all of us.
You're killing me.
Oh,
I
I'm
like that
sure.
idea.
Oh, it got DJ Natty in the house.
Cassie's the 2-gallon fogger,
Oh,
right?
okay, so wait, Cassie's point on these geodomes. I don't know like the complete like logical way to say it, but it's something to do with it's creating like God, now I'm gonna totally fucking fuck this up. But like
It like a whole ass environment in itself. It's I don't do you want me to Google geodomes?
there's something with symmetry in the architecture that can somehow help the plant grow. And I know it sounds weird, but it's a symmetrical structure. So like a tent isn't good for the plant's energy essentially, and like creating like this symmetrical dome does something with the plant's energy, and I think that's something along the lines of it. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
The whole thing's glass too, and an exposed.
It's
But
triangle
it
panels,
does
isn't it?
something. Yes,
'Cause
yeah. Are
what
you
they're
have
doing is
you
I've
guys?
seen it. They try to like refracts the light so that it's pretty
I've
much
seen
shining
this.
through the entire thing. So
Yeah, we are.
yeah,
Pull one of them bad
because if it
boys
was a
up.
complete circle, it would turn into like
It
almost a focus lens and you'd burn stuff. So it has to separate it into
right.
single panels.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
geodome
Yeah, there's
greenhouses.
production value.
And then there's like a really sustainable company, I think, that like makes the whole thing out of reused items, I want to say.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
really
maybe something
neat.
like this.
Man,
But yeah, I guess some of these can be expensive, huh?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn, those are cool.
They're on an ultimate wish list, but they're rad. I'm gonna send you guys the one company when I
You
find
could
it.
probably even build one of these though, yeah?
Gonna
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, I don't have
That's
the
cool.
skill to do it, but I feel like
Cool.
I think there's a company that sells
I've
just
built one before. Those are
the
awesome.
pieces, and then you can build a
Yeah.
wood frame and then put it all together yourself. But
Ah.
yeah,
hey, okay, so no, I mean, speaking of the little fogger characters, I want to get the Fog and Grow current logo animated to where the guy's taking a rip from the handle.
Yeah,
I thought
Stop.
that'd be cool.
it's perfect.
So you can have him do it, and then like turn over to our characters, and then spray them all too. You know? Bam.
Yeah.
You want a break?
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Is there anything that you want to tell the
Yeah.
listeners?
Yeah, there you
I like
go.
that.
Oh, you're awesome. Uh, I don't know. Just thanks for joining along the ride and for all the positive support. And seriously, like, just like you having me on the show, Natty having me on your show, Cassie doing live smoking, just all these relationships and friendships and yeah. I want to thank me for being me. little Snoop Dogg. Uh, um, but yeah, no, thank you. Like, I mean, that's really, why I keep going on Instagram, is like these different relationships. Otherwise, like, I'd still be growing and doing this. Like, it takes time, man, to, engage and make content and reels and be on here. So I do it because I enjoy it and because, well, you guys keep me going. You guys keep me laughing. You guys keep me being me. Yeah, thank you.
Folks, thanks for joining us today on another episode of Fog and Grow, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.